This is a little bit different, new hotter craze again as to what people are doing with wood floor. It is a process that is hundreds of years old. It's one of the first ways in which people stain floors, but it's coming back. Everything that's, again, just like those of you that sat into the hand scraping demonstration, that was an old technique, now it's returning back. A way in which you can stain a floor, traditionally you put down an oil-based stain or any type of stain and the wood will change colors as you do that. Then when you're done, you wipe up the excess color. And you've actually added pigments and dyes to that to change the color of the wood. This is a little bit different technique in that what it's doing is it's actually reacting to what's in the wood. So there's inside of like certain species like white oak, ash, pine, they're heavy in tannins. And those are just natural products that are into the wood. When we put this chemical down, what it does is it actually changes the color of that wood as we're doing it. So it's kind of it's a little bit different, interesting way of going about it. Now where I say it's 100 years old, what you can do with this is you can actually create your own little way of doing this at home. You take some nails, maybe some steel wool, anything that's made out of metal, put it in vinegar, let it sit for 2 or 3 days, and you'll have a chemical. And as you do it, it first looks clear. You're like, wow, how can this do anything? As you let it sit longer and longer and longer, the actual wood will change, or that chemical will start to change its color. So this is my homemade version of product. I haven't opened it in months, so it's going to be a different color, I do believe. So you can see that it's kind of turned to a red color. Initially it was clear, but now it's kind of to this little bit of a red color. I had steel wool, yeah, steel wool, and then I just drained it out, got the steel wool out of it. Yes. So. Right.
You have an idea.
Exactly, right. Because it all reacts to what's ever into the wood. So a lot of the products that we're buying, you'll see some of these things that are European oak material. It's wider width boards. It's kind of the new popular craze. That's a little bit different than American oak. So we've taken this chemical and we've put it on 3 different types of wood, even though they're all the same oak. One's from Europe, one's from North America, and one's from like northern Wisconsin, and then another one may be from down south. All 3 of those react differently because of the natural tannins that are in the wood. So again, all we do is we wipe this product down. The longer that we let it sit, the more it's going to change colors. I'm just going to start a little bit with my own little recipe, homemade version. Then the one that we buy today. See, that's already starting to change the color of that piece to kind of a gray color. You can actually look at the rag; it's turning in black.
Vinegar and steel wool.
Vinegar and steel wool. See, and I've raked it up in this thing. Wow.
What kind of wood is that?
White oak. And it works better with white oak, pine, and ash. Those are really the 3 woods that are the most have the most tannins in it. Certain woods like maple will actually kind of turn it to a greenish color. Other woods won't do anything to it. You put the chemical over the top and you go, I didn't do anything. You can take a cherry or a Brazilian cherry and you can age those down to just a really deep dark wood like it was aged for 6 months. So all of those things you can simply do. So like I said, this is my own little version. But somewhat of the challenge of doing it on your own is how long did you let the vinegar and the steel wool sit. So the longer that you let it sit, the more that that reacts. The longer that that chemical sits there, the different it looks. So to try to replicate that, we've got manufacturers that provide us with these reactive stains so that we get a little bit more control as we're doing it. So I will rub this over this. And you'll see that same type of effect going on.
So this is a commercial stuff.
Yes, right. This one reacts a little bit slower than what you saw in that other one. Same effect.
You have flooring, different out there, or the samples, and another flooring that you just do, put down wood and then
Right.
place. So it's totally custom.
Yes, right. And what we don't know is we don't know which pieces are going to react which way. Some of these will react, you look at it and go, oh, it's just going to react that way, that's fine. But when you get all said and done, you go, no, it didn't change that way.
So would you do this kind of stain on the floor before you put it down?
No, I wouldn't do it this way when I'm doing it by rag. Put it on the floor and wipe it off. That's a bigger process. So you'll see as the stuff that I have over here is starting to turn to more of a gray color as it starts to dry. And eventually it dries to what we see over on this side over here.
Oh, really?
And with everything else in the world today, there's only 10,000 choices of reactive stains that you can buy. This just happens to be one of them. So some turn the wood more to that blackish color. Some of it will turn it more to this lighter gray color. Some of them turn them white. So,
And one more dark over here, we put another, go back, put another coat on it, you're pretty much done as far as.
yeah, once it reacts to whatever's in here, it's done. It's not going to change.
This looks really risky.
We've done several projects with it. It's goofy to be able to do it. So.